Salvete discipuli. In this lesson, we're going to learn to be thinking like a Roman, which is really a lesson on using Latin inflections. So put on your Roman helmets for a thinking cap as we travel back in time and learn to think like a Roman. Here we are, back in time. What does a Roman think about? He thinks about inflections and he thinks about declension. Let's discover what that looks like. Here is the Latin noun patri. It means father. Before we start to think like a Roman, make sure that you have your noun inflections chart in front of you so that you can look at all the inflections that are on it and try to decide what inflection you're seeing on patri. Have your chart? Now put on your thinking caps and see if you can discover what inflections we are actually dealing with. Genitive singular is one possibility. Nominative plural is another. Dative singular is a third possibility. Three very different inflectional endings that are used in three very different ways in a sentence. How would a Roman decide if he's looking at the genitive singular, the nominative plural, or the dative singular? Well, remember, you've got that thinking cap on, which helps you to see that these choices are all from different declensions. Remember that every noun belongs to a specific declension, and that declension helps determine which set of inflectional endings to use. Let's return to the word patri and look at it on the vocabulary list. Pater, patris, and then I see the letter M in parentheses to represent its gender. We want to think like a Roman as we look at this vocabulary word, and that means we need to think about its declension. So here we go. Let's think like a Roman. If I'm thinking like a Roman, what's the first thing I'm going to notice? Well, I'm going to notice that the genitive form ends with the letters is, and this helps me to determine the declension of the noun. Remember that when you see is on the genitive, the noun belongs to third declension. Now go back and look at your noun inflections ending chart at the third declension masculine column. Where do you see the letter I? Our Roman knows the answer right away. Dative singular. The noun patri is in the dative singular, and that means when it's in the sentence, it's going to be the indirect object, or I can translate it by using to or for in front of it. Remember that every time you look at a Latin noun, you need to have on your thinking cap and be thinking like a Roman so that you will be able to know what case the noun is in. Class is dismissed.